A poor girl applied to more than 15 companies for a job but failed in all of them. Fate finally favors her after a heroic act in which she helps a witch defeat a giant ice monster. This leads the company's founder to offer her a job. To know the full story, watch the summary until the end to find out everything. Our first episode of this anime begins with a large explosion in the city, where we see a huge monster attacking a young witch named Hitomi. She says I love a big prey because killing it means a lot of money. She then asks her bike driver to speed up a bit to maintain distance from the monster so it doesn't eat them. The driver requests that she handle it and kill the monster herself. Hitomi uses her magic invoking spell model number 5 and unleashes an extremely powerful force from her magic staff. She flies into the air and strikes the monster with a very powerful blow, defeating it. Hitomi tells us which girls are strong and agile. Every girl wants to become like them because they are very famous and receive good salaries. Their main duty is to exterminate creatures called Kaii, as the increase in Kaii creatures over the years has caused a boom in the witch girls industry, with over 500 witch girls companies for this work. The scene then shifts to Hitomi at the company, where the employee, Kaii, informs her that there are no more motorcycles available. Hitomi gets angry at him because her bike was destroyed and tells him that the new magic device is difficult to use. Kaii informs her that she has been working hard lately and they want her to rest. So after speaking to the company's president, they decided to hire a new graduate because the president was upset by her exhaustion from work. Hitomi is delighted with this news and tells him that she wants a brave girl with the courage to work in a startup company like theirs. The scene then shifts to a beautiful girl named Kana Sakuragi, who is in a job interview with 3 executives. She introduces herself to them, explaining her strengths. She's hardworking, always conducts research, plans meticulously in advance, and is prepared for any situation. One of the executives asked her how she could apply these strengths to their field of entertainment. Kana responds by saying she is aware that the company has plans to build entertainment parks in India, where the entertainment industry has been booming in the 21st century. However, considering the costs, the profits come only from ticket sales, and she has also thought about the issue of religion. Therefore, she can thoroughly research these areas. The executive tells her that he is impressed by her strengths and that they will contact her later regarding their hiring decision. After leaving the company, Kana says that this was the 15th company she had interviewed with and failed. She then stumbles and falls to the ground. The scene cuts back to the company executives, who are amazed by Kana's knowledge of their plans for the amusement parks in India. A colleague mentions that she might have found out from the interview they conducted with the Indian journalist, as Kana had translated the interview and learned about those details. Next, we see Kana entering a restaurant to rest a bit before her next interview. 3 customers are ordering food, but the waitress forgets their order. The manager scolds her, telling her she is incapable of working and has forgotten the customer's orders. Kana steps in and says that she remembers what the customers ordered and proceeds to tell them again. Everyone is surprised because Kana accurately recited everything. We then see Kana sitting, drinking her beverage, looking sad and thinking about her next job interview. The next interview is with a finance company, and she realizes she needs to review her notes about the company. The scene shifts to Inoquiso Finance Company, where the president is talking to his assistant, asking about the temperature in the interview room. The assistant tells him the room is always cold. The president then mentions that they are supposed to conduct annual inspections to check high levels, but it's quite expensive. They enter the room and it's freezing cold. The president points out that maintenance workers often skip checking the rarely used rooms, which could lead to Kaii appearing in those less used rooms. If a Kaii appears in one of them, they would be in serious trouble. They would. After leaving the room, we see something strange on the ceiling. It seems like a monster is lurking. A little later, everyone is gathered in the interview room, feeling cold. The president asks Kana why she applied for the job, but suddenly, the ceiling collapses and a Kaii creature appears. Everyone panics and tries to flee. The president orders his assistant to call a witch immediately. The assistant pulls out his phone and starts contacting a company to deal with the Kaii creatures. The scene then shifts to Hitomi and Katie, where Hitomi asks him, "Won't you be out making sales?" Katie responds that he stays to handle requests when the president is away. The phone rings and a man on the line tells him that he needs a witch to exterminate a Kaii creature and asks them to come immediately. Hitomi rushes off, telling Katie to send her the address. She heads to the rooftop, activates her magical powers, changes her clothes, and is ready to fight the Kaii. The screen shows that the Kai's location is very close by. Hitomi flies into the sky and rushes toward the finance company. Upon arriving, she asks the president why it is so cold here. He tells her that the Kaii creature is one of ice, and when Hitomi opens the door, she finds the room completely frozen with a massive Kaii inside. She quickly closes the door and informs him that defeating such a large creature isn't possible with just one witch. Taking down a monster of that size requires 2 witches standing in front of the door. Hitomi is unsure of what to do in this difficult situation, as she can't handle it alone. She contacts Katie, who tells her that it would take at least 30 minutes for the next available company to send another witch for help. By that time, it would be too late. Hitomi explains that she could destroy the Kaii with one powerful strike, but that would result in the complete destruction of the company. Alternatively, if she continues using small magical attacks, she will run out of ammunition. Hitomi then asks everyone for help, telling them she will fire small, quick magical shots, but will need a lot of ammunition to prevent the monster from retaliating. She needs one person to assist her by refilling her ammunition at the right time. Everyone is too scared and refuses. Suddenly, Kana speaks up, offering her help. She approaches Hitomi, who hands her an electronic device. Hitomi explains that she will enter the frozen room, and Kana must monitor the ammunition gauge on the device. When it drops to 50, she must press the reload button. Hitomi and Kana then enter the frozen room, where Hitomi starts using her magic, firing several quick small attacks at the monster while Kana closely monitors the ammunition level. Kana looks at the electronic device and tells Hitomi that she thinks she is using the wrong type of ammunition. The device indicates it's set to rapid type, but the Shy isn't moving, suggesting these settings might be from a previous mission. Hitomi remembers the last extermination and says, "Yes, this magic device is terrible, I won't use it again." Kinda suggests changing the ammunition and reloading it, saying she knows how to do it, because she once applied for a job at a software company and remembers how it works, he told me. Impressed tells Kana that she admires her a lot and promises to protect her for the rest of her life. She thanks Kana for her help and asks her to go ahead with the adjustments. Hitomi asks Kana to switch to multiple fixed Kaii strikes and set the number of strikes to 100. Kana successfully makes the changes, but the monster retaliates with multiple strikes at them. Hitomi quickly grabs Kana, protecting her and dodging the Kai's attacks. Once the ammunition is fully loaded, Hitomi unleashes a massively powerful magical strike on the monster, finally defeating it. Afterward, Kana feels exhausted, and he told me to ask if she's okay. Kana reassures her, saying she's fine but incredibly happy to have finally felt useful. He told me to thank her once again, and they both celebrated their success. Our episode picks up where we left off last time, where the eccentric leader named Shigemoto meets and welcomes Sako. He introduces everyone. That handsome boy is Katie from the sales department, and the girl with him is Kushigaya. Then the leader turns to Nikoyama, calling him over and welcoming Kana, the new girl. However, Nikoyama is too busy and doesn't want anyone to break his concentration because he's gathering data. He's a tactical operative in strategic intelligence. The leader apologizes, explaining that Nikoyama is in focus mode, then takes him away. This surprises Sakuragi a lot, and she wonders aloud what's up with these weird people. Kate apologizes to her for the commotion and hands her a flying vacuum cleaner. It's her first training session. Sakuragi is very surprised, but Kaii reassures her not to worry as this is their primary mode of transportation. And that's not all, it also allows her to download and modify programs. Sakuragi talks to herself, saying maybe I'll ride it first and then resign from this crazy company. Since the company is new and has no deep roots, it doesn't train the students much. But in just a few days, she can start as a magical girl quickly. She can even start today if she trains on that vacuum cleaner. Then Kaii comes to her with more than 50 books, telling her these are the flying vacuum cleaner's instructions. Sakuragi is extremely shocked and her face shows great tension, but Kaii tells her not to be surprised. This broom is her tool of the trade, and she needs to know how to use it, or else she'll die instantly. Then Kushigaya comes over to Sakuragi and asks, "What are you doing? I never read those instructions." "There's no need for so many books since I'm here, I'll teach you myself." And off they go outside, but Sakuragi crashes into a tree. Kushigaya tells her, "Come on, you have to try again and fly quickly or you'll fall." Sakuragi tries again and again, but each time she fails and crashes into the wall. She apologizes to Miss Kushi for not learning yet and says she wants to read the instructions first. The scene then shifts to the leader, who asks Sako if she needs anything. She says yes. She wants to study all the instructions for the broom. And so Sako began her journey of intense learning, diving into the books day and night. All she could do was traditional studying, because after all, she was just an ordinary girl. After several days of preparation, we see Kaii running quickly, asking about the boss, and the staff informs him that the boss has just left. Kaii then tells them that there's a dangerous mission scheduled for 4:30 p.m., and it's assigned to both Kosi and Sako. However, this creature is less threatening than the one they faced previously. Everyone wonders why Sako's name is on the mission list, considering she's still a beginner. At that moment, the leader walks in and admits that he was the one who made the plan. Sako, feeling upset, stands up and says that she still can't ride the broom yet, as she's just a novice. But her friend calms her down and reassures her that riding the broom is actually very easy. Then the leader encourages her, saying that he saw footage of her saving Kushigaya using a magical device that had just been launched for the first time, and yet Sako understood it immediately. He adds that he's sure she's a talented girl, possessing intelligence, the ability to observe and communicate, make suggestions, and respond proactively to emergencies. He tells her that she accomplished something an ordinary person couldn't, and while she may not realize it yet, she has extraordinary talent still. The leader leaves the final decision to her, saying he won't force her to take on the mission if she's uncomfortable. At this point, Sako gets excited and tells them that she's ready and will do it. Then the leader calls out to Nikoyama, saying it's time for the transformation. Nico rushes in, thrilled because he gets to transform someone. Sako becomes scared with a look of shock on her face. The leader tells Nico to make her super beautiful. Nico runs over to Sako, grabs her, and starts crying tears of joy, saying he's waited so long for a new magical girl. Nico is the company's magical engineer, responsible for adjusting the broom's settings, transformation equipment, and providing remote guidance. But he's very strange, almost crazy. He tells Sako that her skin tone suits summer colors, that she's 153 centimeters tall, and her shoe size is 23. Then he runs to his laptop to program the transformation. Everyone is crazy. Look at the leader spinning around in circles wearing women's clothes. Then Nico finishes the task and gives Soko her transformation key, which is also her employee number. He tells her she must carry it and shout code C to transform. Soko holds the key and activates it, and sure enough, she transforms into a magical girl. She couldn't believe it, and everyone is watching her. In about a minute, she had fully transformed. Neko tells her that he's happy because he's overwhelmed by these effects. Meanwhile, the silly leader is crying, saying, "Why do these scenes always make me cry?" Everyone is crying hysterically, and Sako looks at them in astonishment, thinking what a stupid company. Then Koshi tells her that she's now ready, saying let's start our work. After that, they head outside, and Koshi explains that the wind direction in that spot is ideal and that the weather is perfect for her first flight. Everyone is watching Sako's mission from the top of the building. Sako is very excited, and then they take off into the sky like rockets or attack drones, with everyone below watching them in awe. Sako is highly focused when Neko calls her from the command center, saying he'll support her remotely. First, she must head to the extermination site, an entrance in the northwest part of the city center. As they fly, they spot the building where the creature is clinging to the walls. Neko informs them that the outer part of the building is safe for an attack, but the protruding part of the creature might retaliate, so they must keep a safe distance. Once Neko confirms that everyone has evacuated the building, he scans again and is shocked to discover someone still inside in the fourth window on the left. Kaii immediately speeds up, saying, "Let's kill two birds with one stone. I'll save the man and hit my target with ease." She accelerates at full speed, strikes her target, and uses her magic to launch a massive attack. But then a big problem arises. Kaii's broom is damaged, and Sako notices this right away. She quickly calls out to Neko, informing him of a crack at the rear of Kaii's broom. Neko checks and confirms that she's right, noticing that the broom's magic power is starting to leak. Kaii explains that this broom is an old backup one, and since Kaii's original broom was completely destroyed during her last mission, she's been using this worn-out replacement. However, Kaii has been handling it carelessly, and the extra passenger adds more weight. While it can still fly for longer periods, it's in poor condition. Kaii attempts a maneuver and successfully rescues the person inside, but she insists on continuing the fight. Neko warns her that it's too dangerous because her broom is falling apart, but she's determined to finish the jobs and tells them to relax and watch what she's going to do. She accelerates again, but the brush starts slowing down bit by bit. We then see Sako deep in thought, wondering what should I do now. She remembers when she was reading a book and said to herself, "I can do it now." But then she thought, what if I fail? What if I make a mistake and cause more damage? She then recalls the words of the leader telling her that she's incredibly talented. That motivates her even more. She calls out to Neko and tells him to make Kaii retreat immediately. She will finish the job by launching a decisive magic strike. She's read it in the books and knows she can do it now. She tells Neko the exact page number, which is 49. The sales department manager rushes to grab the book, opens the page, and Neko prepares to activate the spell. Neko then communicates to Kaii, telling her that Sako is about to launch a magic strike, so she must back off. The leader takes the microphone and orders Kaii to retreat, assuring her that Sako is brilliant and talented and will save them. Kaii steps back, and Sako unleashes a powerful strike on the strange creature, finishing it off. Kaii then captures the creature in a flash, and everyone is stunned by Sako, who is still just a beginner on her first mission. Yet she did what no one else could. Sako was so perfect that even the boss started crying. Neko asks him, "Why are you crying, boss?" To which he replies, "These are tears of joy, my boy." He looks over and sees someone else crying too, and tells him, "I cry when the boss cries." Truly, this company is crazy, but it's also wonderful. Did you all enjoy this episode, my friends? If the answer is yes, leave us a positive comment, and if the answer is no, let us know as well. Afterwards, they all return to headquarters. Sako walks in and asks the boss, "Are you going to scold me for acting on my own?" But he approaches her and tells her she has a bright future ahead, then shakes her hand and cries again. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about this anime recap by liking, sharing, and commenting. And please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 5,000 subscribers.
Take you